Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers Studio Series 86 Cranix. I have him directly in front of me with a bunch of Transformers from the 86 line and other lines to do a nice little size comparison before we talk about one of the more unique Transformers in the entirety of the Transformers collection. Kranix was in one movie. He didn't have many lines, and he perished very soon after we met him. And he had a very unique design and a very unique little transformation. So today we're going to break him down and talk about him from the blind perspective, and also give you a verbal transformational video explaining exactly how to transform him in a verbal instructional manner. That way, if you are like me and you cannot see the instructions, then you can follow along with your ears and be able to transform your own Kranix at home. How exciting! I'm excited because I like Kranix and I like the Transformers Studio Series 86 line. I have right here the MTA battle damaged Optimus Prime because he is the Prime from that Commander class box set, and that is such a good Prime. And I have Kranix right here in front of him, and Kranix, the top of Kranix is a little, I'm not going to say the top of his Wolverine points, because he kind of has like Wolverine hair going on here. Between those 2 points, though, I'm going to declare is the top of his head, and that goes to the top of the abs for the 86 Prime mold here. And that's Prime. Prime can, of course, stand beside him, and we can raise up Prime's nuts. Prime dropping things. We can raise up Prime's arm and get an understanding that the top of Kranix goes just below the top of Kranix's Wolverine points go just below Optimus Prime's joint for his shoulders. So we're going to put Prime over here next to whoever you are, whatever you are. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, maybe. So we've got Bumblebee here. Let's go ahead and move Prime's gun and knock something else over. Well, who did I knock over this time? I knocked a Kranix over. Oh, no. Poor Kranix. Poor Kranix indeed. It's so sad what happens to him. Anyway, so here's Kranix with Bumblebee. Bumblebee stands halfway up Kranix's chest. Side-to-side comparison, raising Kranix's arm. The top of Bumblebee's head comes up to about Kranix's armpit, which is funny. Kranix and Bumblebee are about the same size difference as Kranix is to Optimus Prime. Actually, Bumblebee may be a little taller than Kranix is to Optimus Prime, but it's very close. It's very, very close. Here we go, moving him over here to the side and bring out a nice Voyager class. We got Thundercracker from the 86 line, the new Thundercracker mold, which is exceptional, by the way. Here is Kranix in front of it, and Kranix goes to just above that second. So if you count from the bottom of his waist, you get one circle thing, and the second roll bar on his cockpit area. So the top of Kranix's head goes just above that second roll bar, or just at the collarbone area for Thundercracker here. Thundercracker can raise up his arm, and we can take a look at how the sizes are. And Kranix's shoulder joint comes to just about a finger width difference from Thundercracker's there. They are definitely unique in the sizes, and it fits so well for the fact that Kranix is more of a scientist researcher from a peaceful planet that doesn't really know war. Most likely his gun is just simply something that he uses to exterminate pests or vermin on his planet, but nothing really more than that. Here is Kranix next to the 86 Hot Rod. We talked about him years and years ago when the 86 line first began, and they are almost exactly shoulder to shoulder. We put them face to face, and Kranix's head comes to just below. Actually, we line them up, and they are even. Their heads are even. Their shoulders are even. These guys are on the same kind of plane in size category, and that really works for that scene where they're looking at each other through the bars of the prison, and this just works very well. And I like the plastic that they used for Kranix here. Do I have anybody else to do size comparisons with? No, I do not. I'm going to set Hot Rod off to the side. And now let's get in here and talk about Kranix in full, because this is a very unique transformer. So he's got these big old rotors for his shoulders, and they're just big circles that are giant joints. And then he has two rotors, one at the top of each leg for his hips, and then he's got big rotors for his knees, and he doesn't have any for his elbows. But his upper arm is very thin, his lower arm is kind of fat, and his hand is in the open position, which is nice because he's more on the, like I said, scientist researcher. I specifically, things I like about him are this arched kind of ab area for his lower body. It's very smooth textured. His backpack is very clean and nice. He's even got an arch in the back area. He feels just he just works for Kranix. This is an exceptional Kranix in my opinion when it comes to this robot mode. This is one of the reasons I love the 86 line. I like how they did him. He's quite well done in my opinion when it comes to this robot mode. And I really like the way the face works, because I did wonder how are they going to get that head, because of the way his head was shaped and the fact that his faceplate was kind of, there wasn't really much behind it. It was a very fragile looking robot in the movie. And they did that by making the faceplate this thing that folds down. Like if you fold the head back, you can actually fold the faceplate down. And it all comes together to make a very, very nice Kranix. Like this is the first Kranix we get, and they knocked it out of the park. For the robot mode, they knocked it out of the park. This is getting an S. It's got exceptional joints. Very, very nice, way beyond 90 in the elbows. He can actually touch his shoulder with his hand. Very well done. And more than 90 in the knees. And if you were to take off this this back flap here for his vehicle mode, you can actually get a lot more than 90 in the knees, and even develop a double jointed knee, which is just really cool that you even get something like that in a Transformer. It's just nice. I like some double jointed knees. His ankle tilt isn't very far, but he does have a foot swivel, which is nice. You don't get many foot swivels. He also has a waist rotation and a thigh rotation. He has a bicep rotation as well, and well, that's about all for him. He is really well done in robot mode. I will sing the praises of this robot mode all day long. This is Cyclonus level, at least Kingdom Cyclonus level robot mode. It just makes me happy to hold. It makes me happy to hold it. Now let's get into the explanation of the transformation. So first and foremost, to transform him, go ahead and fold his wing, this little corner wing thing that's on the back of his arm, fold it out, and then use your thumbnail to reach in and pull out this little panel, and that panel's going to fold out all the way. Then his hand's going to fold backwards into that area that the panel just came out of. And leave that arm alone. Come around here to the other arm, and we're going to go ahead and fold up that back little triangle thing, and then we're going to take this rectangular panel from inside and fold that out, and then we're going to fold the hand in. And we're going to leave the arm alone. Now we're going to come over here to his head. We're going to pull his head as far up as it will go, and then we're going to fold his faceplate as far down as it will go. And now we're kind of done with that. Then come around here to the front of his robot mode, and he's got these little tabs around where his nipples would be. And we're going to go ahead and pull on these things and try to break this connection. And we can open up his chest area. If we could just get it to work. Come on now. Come on now. It's always steps like this that give me the most problems on camera. There it goes. So you pull open his lower chest area, and then you can pull out his upper chest area, and it actually unfolds, similar to Cyclonus again. And we get this double layer unfold that kind of reminds me of a crane from Origami, and that's going to fold up and over, and there's a little tab on the back of the point area, and that little tab is actually going to tab into the top of Kranix's head. Next step is come over here to his back and peel his back up, and then wiggle it a bunch until you can get it to actually separate, and then the entirety of his back plate is going to fold all the way backwards to cover his lower crotch area. So his lower back is now going to cover his crotch, and it's going to reveal this the siege port and then a couple of little port things that don't really matter right now. They're just screw holes. Next step, After we've done all that, we're going to pull that head back just a little bit and make sure that connection is solid. There it goes. Just squeeze it a bit to cover his entire head with this crazy pointy thing. And now we're going to come over here to these arms, rotate them around at the... We're just rotating his arms at the bicep, and then that's going to fold down, I believe. Yeah. So we're just folding those arms down so that this panel thing is actually pointed towards the ground. Now we're going to come over here to this other side, and we're going to do the same. Rotate the arm at the bicep, revealing that panel that's going to go down, and then this arm thing is going to fold up, and there we are. Just rotate it around just a bit so that they're both even. Nothing really is connecting here. They don't really have any connector points. It's just kind of a... I figured this out by just playing with it a lot until it seemed to work. And then you just kind of squeeze the arms in a bit, and there you go. There's kind of the front of him. Next, come around here to his back legs, peel up those two triangles on the backs of his legs, and connect those two triangles together, and then just kind of squeeze him down all the way so that his knees fold down, and then that backpack thing is going to just kind of rest on the lower leg or the upper leg areas, and that now that's kind of him. The toes work as little stands to hold up the back area, and these front pads work to hold up the front, and they're slightly tilted so that that's how he gives him thrust so that he can hover around. He was a hovercraft, or at least a lot of ones on that planet were, so this shape really makes sense. Now we're going to come around here to the front, and we're going to put his little gun into the area at the that little siege port I said was revealed on his back. And that's got him transformed. It's not a very complicated transformation, but it is a very intuitive one, and it's actually, kind of enjoyable. And you get a weird 80s style space machine. Something like the designer went, okay, what if we design something, a vehicle mode that doesn't know anything about humans. Just no biologicals whatsoever. A simple logic mover machine. Like, this is just simply put to move Kranix from one point to another very quickly. That's what this mode is all about. And it screams logic and evenness. It's not as aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't have to be, because that's what they didn't focus on that in this robot species. They were scientists, they were philosophers. They focused more on, efficiency. And this is a very efficient design. It doesn't waste anything. It's really cool how that all came together, and I like the fact that we have a representation of Kranix's species. I really appreciate that, and I'd like to know, which one of the primes do you think Kranix came from? Because the fact that we saw them all messing with chemical solutions and the little time we get to see them, I'm going to go ahead and say that they're descendants of Alchemist Prime. They just scream like they are descendants of Alchemist. But I've blathered on long enough about him. I'm going to give the transformation it's going to get an A+ from me. It's definitely not S category, because S's are something special. But this is close, okay? This is a good transformation. And then you get this vehicle mode, and it just... I can't give it an S, but I can definitely give it an A. This is an A+ vehicle mode, an A+ transformation, and definitely an S when it comes to the robot mode. This is one of those Transformers that I think that you should pick up, no matter what. He is a lot of fun, and of course, everybody said it so far, but I'll say the line also, "Spare me this mockery of justice." Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I know I have. Go out there and have some fun. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.